This is a very serious message that I want to give and present upon the people of Canada who may be tempted to once again get macked and pimped out and fooled by Justin, the long-haired macdaddy Trudeau. The long-haired macdaddy has started a new way of macking people because he sees his poll numbers going down. He sees his poll numbers are going down. So what he has decided to do now, what his new strategy is getting a list of people he feels should be apologized to on behalf of the Canadian government. And when he apologizes, what he'll do is pretend like he's crying uncontrollably. And now this guy was a drama teacher. Don't forget that. This guy was a drama teacher before he was probably installed as prime minister by George Soros. There's still some evidence that the election was rigged, but that's a different story. And he was a pretty good drama teacher. That's one thing I'll say about the long-haired macdaddy. He is a good actor. I mean, when he cries, I'm sorry for the what happened to the gay people. I'm sorry for what happened to the natives. I'm sorry. I mean, Now, I'm not attacking a man for crying, even though, this constant crying is really getting tiresome. But he's not genuine, and I'll tell you why. Just stick with me. I'm going to tell you why he's not being genuine. I'm smart, okay? I'm a very smart person. I know how to read people, okay? I know how to read people like an open book. And this fool is macking us. But he's not macking me. And he may not be able to mack you if you listen to the Arana Nation. Now, he cried on behalf of Native Americans. He made a big apology on behalf of Native Americans because of the residential schools, which was a good thing to do. The residential schools was evil. There was nothing good about it. Nothing good about it. There is nothing good about dragging people away from their culture and trying to change them. That's what the radical Muslims out there over in Syria and in Iraq, in ISIS people, that's what they do. There's nothing good about that. So he apologized on behalf of Canadians. Something his Pierre the cuckold Trudeau never did. Pierre the cuckold Trudeau, who is Justin the long-haired macdaddy Trudeau's daddy, never apologized. Which, okay, fine, whatever. But Justin Trudeau is not genuine. He doesn't give a rat's behind about natives. And you know why? Because right now, as we are speaking right this very second, there are natives in Canada who are living worse than the people over in Nigeria and Somalia and the Congo and all these horrible places in the poorest part of Africa. Potbelly, barefoot, no clean water, poisonous contaminated water. There are native reserves where the only water supply they have other than bottled water is poisonous contaminated water, like in Mexico. Has the government spent even a penny to fix the problem? Not one stinking penny. Nothing. Now, this is a problem that could be fixed by the long-haired macdaddy. Instead of apologizing for things that happened years and years ago, which was a good thing to do, but this is something that puts your money where your mouth is. Don't apologize. Ben Franklin used to say, show me, don't tell me. This is something he could, to prove that he actually cares about natives. He could fix that problem, but you know what he's doing to that money? And I've made videos about it. I'm not going to go over it again. He's given billions, and billions again of our tax dollars to other nations. The first thing he did, one of the first nations that got taxpayer monies from Canada in the tune of billions, was Indonesia. Justin the Longhaired macdaddy Trudeau said he's giving our tax dollars, billions of our tax dollars, to Indonesia to help them fix their infrastructure. Look it up, okay? Just look it up. The other day, the long-haired macdaddy what he did was he cut the benefits for Canadians with diabetes. No, the tax benefits they get. People, veterans, mentally ill, cut it. And gave billions of dollars to Middle Eastern and African nations to help them with their food crisis. But let's get back to natives. How can you have, in a country like Canada, a first world country, natives who people say are the first people to be on this continent? I can speak as somebody who is part native. Natives aren't the first people on this continent, okay? Well, actually, I take that back. They were, but they were not always here. They came from Japan and Russia and all that stuff. The first living things on this continent were the birds and the bees. That's it. But that's something different. And forgive me, if a native is watching. I'm not trying to offend any natives. I'm part native, so I can say it. He doesn't care. Because he's allowing your people on many reserves across this country to live with poisonous water. There is no water supply apart from either the poisonous water or bottled water. Now some will say, well, why can't they just go get the bottled water? I know some liberal troll out there is probably saying that, some white liberal troll. Go to hell. People deserve and have the right to have clean water, especially if you were the first people to come onto this continent, even though you weren't always here, but that's okay. Now, he apologized yesterday for the gays. Trudeau doesn't care about gay people, okay? He'll walk in a gay parade for photo ops. He will stick out his tongue with a pride flag for photo ops and all that stuff to make himself look good to mock Canadians. But if he really, really cared about gays, gay pride people, he would not have first of all, he would not have taken Canada out of the fight against ISIS. Now, ISIS is a group that, among a lot of things they do, they throw gays off of buildings. That's your punishment for being gay. If you live in ISIS territory and you're gay, you're going to be thrown out. You're going to be thrown off a building. That's your punishment. Trudeau says if you kill your enemies, they win. We killed the Nazis. I don't think they won. But it gets even worse. Justin the Longhaired macdaddy considers people who went to fight ISIS from Canada as Islamic travelers, not terrorists. They don't deserve to be in jail. That's mean. That's insensitive. That's Islamophobic. So what he's doing is he's allowing Canadians who went to go fight for ISIS, a group that throws gays off of buildings, to come back to Canada in the hopes of being rehabilitated. No punishment, no nothing. Nothing. Let me tell you, I've read some of the things these people have written on their Twitter and Facebook. It's posted by the RCMP. These people are not going to be rehabilitated. They're wild hyenas. So he can apologize to the gay community all he wants and give all the money to them he wants for photo ops to mock Canadians, stupid Canadians out there who think, he's the best thing since sliced bread, even though sliced bread does get tossed out after a week, which should have happened to him. But he doesn't really care because he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. Gay people in Canada are in more danger now than they have ever been. Even more than the 60s when the government was refusing them jobs. They're in more if you're gay in Canada, you are in more danger of not only you're in danger of losing your life. There are ISIS people to this very moment who are allowed to come in by the macdaddy, a group that throws gays off of buildings. No punishment, no nothing, but we'll try to rehabilitate them. The public safety minister even said, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So if you're gay in Canada, Trudeau has put you in more danger than you have ever been in your entire existence. Okay? So let that sink in. So before you get macked by the long-haired macdaddy and say, oh, how sweet he is of crying for us, and that mean old Michael Arana from the Arana Nation is just attacking a man for crying. Hey, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. So I'm not attacking a man for crying. I'm attacking a man for using these tragedies to prop himself up. I'm trashing a man for macking my country. That's what I'm trashing. That's what the Arana Nation is trashing. And the Arana Nation is now signing out.